Hi, this is Matt with State of Flex here with a review for Clerks, the TV show, but not the one you're thinking of. The trailer for Clerks 3 just dropped yesterday, and about a year ago I started doing a retrospective looking back at each of the directorial films Kevin Smith had made. I did it from the day he started filming Clerks 3, and it took me until I did his entire directorial work. I then did a ranking of his films, and in there I said I was going to take a hiatus on reviewing Kevin Smith content until the trailer dropped for Clerks 3. And being that Clerks 3 is a feature film about the a fictitious making of Clerks, why not take a look at the only Kevin Smith adjacent thing that I'm going to be talking about that he had almost no creative control over, or creative input on, and that is the Clerks sitcom, or as I've called it, a shitcom. This is a Lost Clerks episode, if you will, a live-action Clerks TV show that was going to be produced in 1995, and it followed Dante and Randall, and it was set up very much like a sitcom, but staged very much like any kind of like 90s TV show at the time, very like kind of Boy Meets World look, or Saved by the Bell kind of style of presentation, or one of the lesser seasons of Roseanne. And what you get here is like kind of clerksy in that you're following two people who are clerks, really three people who are clerks, and they loosely embody the characters on the page. You have Dante, Danteing and being like seeing himself above the work he's doing and trying to get out of it because his girlfriend Veronica wants him to pull him out of the work industry that he is into something more, collegiate and beyond the parameters of working in a convenience store. Then you have Randall, who's kind of being Randall. He is really off-putting in this, and not like any kind of a charming way. And the actor playing him is just effing awful, like truly terrible acting. They have like a third clerk there named Todd, and he kind of embodies the Randall character. The thing is like all three of the main characters, Dante, Randall, and Todd, all kind of are the same character, just with different performers. And the guy, in fact, playing Dante, I feel like would make a really good Randall. He is really funny, like in a weird world, and I've seen him in other things too. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, but most notably he's in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie, and he's quite good in that. You can watch those and see a very Randall character. None of them read Dante, and yeah, it's just bad. The Andrew Lowry plays that Dante character, and he's okay-ish. The only one in the film that can really perform based on what you see in this is Noelle Parker, who plays Veronica. That's a name you probably won't recognize, but a face you might recognize if you ever watched Ernest Saves Christmas. She's the adolescent girl that kind of doesn't believe in Santa and then discovers his bag and starts pulling tricks. Kind of made me want to watch. This show got to a point where it made me want to watch an Ernest film. Heavens. Anyway, so yeah, it's not very good. The most famous name in this film, or in this TV pilot, is Kerry Russell. It has an incredibly young Kerry Russell, the joke is she's incredibly tan, and they have a series of jokes that involve her tanness and whatnot, and she's there. Yeah, this is not good. I will never watch it again. It feels more Mallratsy and looks more Mallratsy than Clerks, in a not pleasant way. The humor also doesn't land, where like Kevin Smith has a very specific humor style, and Clerks, Chasing Amy, Dogma, really of his 90s films, embody that sound. And they all, you can like turn your brain off and just listen to them, and they're all Kevin Smith, very obviously. Mallrats is the weird one where, yeah, like the content they're talking about is very Kevin Smith, and some of the jokes are Kevin Smith-y, but most of the jokes don't necessarily feel like your traditional Kevin Smith stuff. And that's because he was working with a studio, and the studio was getting heavily involved and like had a lot of input on that script, and it just reads more studio idea of what comedy is rather than a funny person being able to splat that out on a page, as he did with Clerks, Chasing Amy, Dogma, onwards. And this reeks of that. This seems like writer's room run amok. It's credited to two people I was unfamiliar with. One wrote, one directed, both of whom have like pretty solid things in their career afterwards and before in the realm of television. One of whom went on to write episodes from all seasons of Arrested Developments, the good and the bad. So I mean, like the show had some clout and it had a concept that kind of worked, but for whatever reason, this just did not land. Like you watch this and there's no way in hell this would ever have made it to air. So yeah, this isn't very good. The only relevant thing is like Kevin Smith had no involvement in this, didn't even know that it was kind of being made necessarily, and he tells a quick little aside in one of his Q&As about this show, where he and Scott found out, I think while they were making Mallrats, that this was a thing, and decided, yeah, they wanted to be involved with the writer. Like, they were asked if they were, or once they asked about it, they were kind of invited to maybe come into the writer's room. They came in, and they started pitching an idea for an episode that would go on to be in the actual Clerks TV show that I will address at some later point. But, all their ideas were getting shut down. They went out for a cigarette break, and they're like, why the fuck are we doing this? And they leave. That's probably the most relevant thing about this show is Kevin Smith came to the set of Clerks, pitched Clerks ideas, was getting shot down with them, but the ideas that he was pitching he put into his own show, which actually got made, and that would have been the I believe the Outbreak episode of Clerks the cartoon. So yeah, anyway, this show is just not great at all. But if you're a hardcore fan of Clerks, it is kind of worth watching, like a weird bizarro world of where everybody, what if it was Clerks, but everybody was a little prettier than they ought to be, and everything was a little glossier, but still having that touch of grunge, but grunge through the prism of what a studio senses grunge might be like. Rather than any kind of reality-based, like, quote-unquote, grunge scene that you got authentically in Clerks. Yeah, not good. So anyway, this is going to kick out my weekly countdown to the Clerks theatrical feature, which I hope to see Tuesday, the, I believe the 13th, is when I'm going to be getting my ticket. So I will do a one-a-week review of Kevin Smith content, be it book, be it movie, be it show. I have stuff for you coming up in the coming weeks. Drop down in the comments down below which one you're most interested in, and feel free to go back through my playlist and watch all of my Kevin Smith content. Some of them get kind of long, as this probably did too, but there's a lot to say, there's a lot to unpack there, and especially for a person who's always talking as he is, it creates a grandiose myth that if you really are sitting there to assess, you need to like build out, right, and address all aspects. Anyway, I'm rambling. Skip Clerks, the TV show, but if you must watch it, it is on YouTube. Somebody put the bootleg copy out there. It's 22 minutes. and it's an excellent way to waste your time. Launch right into from this into the Clerks cartoon, and you'll have yourself a very interesting series of what ifs, Marvel style. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, do all that. Also check out my Godzilla review, which I just dropped as well, if you're not so interested in that. Or if you're interested in Thor, I will be having a review for Thor Love and Thunder quite soon. Thanks for watching.